Hello peeps and welcome to Sundays with Sparky. I'm not quite sure what I pulled the face there. How's it going? I am super tired. Yeah, hence the croaky voice. So I've been working and staying up late and getting up early and going to bed late and then getting up early, and that's why I'm tired. I went to the gym twice this week for a change. I need to get back into doing that, get back in the habit, and continue with my quest to reach my target weight. I've got 2 more months to go until I've finished the little challenge I set myself, so not long to go, but then I haven't got very far to go to get to that point either, so that's not too bad. So let's talk about movies and video games, because that's what we're here for. Movies. Let's go with movies first. This week I went to the cinema to see Lucy on Tuesday, I think it was. And it was really good, but it was kind of weird. It wasn't what I was expecting at all, which is why I think I like it as much as I do. It kind of went to places I didn't expect, and there was twists. Not so much in the plot. Well, I guess there kind of was in the plot. There was just things that happened that I didn't expect, and I certainly didn't see coming. Not all of it really made a lot of sense to me. Maybe on a second viewing it would. But it didn't stop me from enjoying it. But it did leave me a bit kind of like, what? So, yeah, it was good though, and it was good to see a female lead in a movie that's at the cinema, because I can't remember the last one. The one that springs to mind would be Salt with Angelina Jolie, but that was years ago. I can't think of one recently. There probably has been, but I'm struggling to think of one. In a kind of semi-action role as well. There probably is, but I don't know. If you can think of one that came out recently, leave a comment below and let me know. Because also, I was having this discussion with a few people at work recently. A good film with a black female lead. The only movie I could think of was Catwoman, the one that Halle Berry did, but that's not a good movie. So, something else. I guess maybe Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino movie, but I don't actually see Jackie Brown in it very much, so I'm not even sure that really counts. But if you can think of one of with a movie with a strong movie, a really good movie, well, it doesn't have to be a really good movie. It can just be an okay movie, but something other than Catwoman and Jackie Brown with a lead female black actress, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm struggling to think of any, and it would be interesting to see if you know of any that I don't. Which, if you think of any other than the two I mentioned, then you probably do. Okay, so that was Lucy. I suggest, if you like some of the previous Luc Besson films, to check it out. He was the director, in case you didn't know. And it's got Morgan Freeman, Scarlett Johansson as the kind of main top build cast. So if you like either of them, then also maybe give it a go. So I've been working my way through the Jurassic Park trilogy. I've watched the first one and the second one so far. I'm probably going to watch the third one tonight, or at least try to, if I can stay awake long enough. Just don't really need to say much about it. I mean, the first one is I remember going to the cinema to see the first one, and which, let me think, when did it come out? 1993 when this came out, so I would have been 12, 13 years old. And I remember going to the cinema to see it with one of my friends at the time, I forget who it was, and we were sitting there watching it, and I was calling what was going to happen before it happened, and the people behind sort of tapped me on the shoulder and said, look, if you've seen the movie before, don't talk about it because, you know, it's ruining it for us. And I was like, I haven't seen the movie before. I'm just, you know, it's just obvious what's going to happen. There's a bit, I think it's safe to kind of give out spoilers. I think most people that were going to see Jurassic Park have probably seen Jurassic Park by now. Anyway, there's a bit where there's the truck in the tree, and he climbs up to get the boy out of the truck, and they climb all the way down the tree, and then as the cars kind of starts moving down in breaking branches, and they have to be really quick. And I said to my friend, they're going to get to the bottom and it's going to fall down and land on them, but they're going to be okay because of the roof thing. And that's exactly what happened. And that was when I was like 12, 13 years old. I predicted that. So although Jurassic Park was kind of groundbreaking as far as like the special effects were concerned, and it still looks good now, it still holds up, even though it's like just over 10 years old. No, 20 years old. Jesus. Oh my god, I feel really old now. Video games. This week I have been playing quite a lot of Hearthstone. I've been trying to rank up a little bit, even though it was probably pointless because it's like right near the end of the season. There's only like 3 or 4 days left. But just kind of seeing if I could, and testing out a bunch of decks, trying to see which ones were working best for me for future big deck player videos. Been playing some of The Crew closed beta with Andres and Suki. It's still not working brilliantly. Bearing in mind it's called The Crew, and the whole idea is that you form a crew with your friends to then go and do races and stuff together. We couldn't actually form a crew with all 3 of us. Me and Suki could connect and group up okay, but for some reason Andres couldn't connect to us and we couldn't connect to Andres, and there was just this huge problem. So although it's called The Crew and it's all about teaming up, they need to make it so that you can actually do that, otherwise it's a bit rubbish. Visually, either my PC doesn't do it justice, which is quite possible, or it doesn't actually look as good as I was expecting it to. It kind of looks a bit like Burnout Paradise, and I did a one-off Wednesday video of that a few months back. It kind of reminds me of that. Imagine, for example, getting Burnout Paradise, where you've got free roaming, you can drive around the streets, do whatever you like, and then at certain points around the map are specific missions or races or challenges, that kind of stuff. But on a much more larger scale. So, say for example you've got the Burnout Paradise map, and that's, say, Detroit, and then you'd have another one for Chicago and blah blah blah, and you'd have that all over the place. So eventually you have this huge map of the United States, and it's all set out like that. So it's pretty good as far as that sort of thing is concerned. But I found that visually, it's okay. It looks okay, but at no point did I think, wow, this looks amazing. That didn't happen. The cars look okay. The cars perform okay. There's just a few things that I think need to be ironed out with it. It's still locked at 30 frames per second, which for a racing game just doesn't really make much sense to me. You would have thought that it would have been better to have a higher frame rate than that, but I guess they've done that for some reason. I don't know. I think it's an EA thing, because I'm pretty sure they did that with the recent Need for Speed. Was that EA? Pretty sure EA did Need for Speed. And yeah, so that was locked at 30 frames per second as well. So they need to fix that. They need to make it so that it's not locked at 30 frames per second, because that's ridiculous. There's multiple views you can use, which is great, and the UI seems a bit big. I think they could probably reduce the size of the UI a bit, because it can kind of get in the way a little bit when you're driving. And but yeah, I mean it's proving to be okay if they can get it working as it should be. If they can increase the frame rate on it, if they can make it so that you can connect to your friends easier and more reliably, then I think it could be potentially quite good. Whether I'll be buying it or not, I don't know. Depends on whether they fix all the stuff. We shall see. We'll have to wait and see. But that's been kind of fun. What else have we been doing? I reinstalled Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and all that. I started a new seasonal character, because this is their new thing. They're bringing in seasons where you start a seasonal character and then they can get special stuff that no one else can get. And yeah, it looks quite interesting. So I'm kind of just giving that a try and kind of dipping my toe in the water, so to speak, just to see what it's like and see if the new improvements make me want to play again, which is pretty awesome. And I think that's pretty much it. I have played a lot of Hearthstone though this week, so that's probably where most of my gaming time has gone, just trying to rank up and try out these new decks. So that's that. Next week I'm working lots over the next 4 weeks, in fact, because of covering holiday and stuff. So I don't know how much gaming time I'm going to get or how much movie time I'm going to get, but I shall keep you updated, obviously, each week on this show. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. I'm hoping at the end of this month to go and visit my friends up north, and I'll probably drop in on Suki and poke her a bit or something. That sounds... I was trying to think of a way to say it that didn't sound a bit rude, but everything that I was going to say was going to sound a bit rude, so I'm just going to leave it there. Just leave that there. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will see you next Sunday, and we'll talk about more movies and more video games and stuff that's going on, stuff that's going down. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I hope you find something here that will keep you entertained, and I shall see you all next week. See you later. Bye bye.